Alright guys, most people don't realize how far XRP's gone while everyone's waiting for the next large headline. A lot's already been done. So I wanted to take a second today and break it down. What's already been completed and what's to come, just so that way you're aware. I know a lot of you are new to this space, so I want to make sure that you do have the right information and what to expect as far as what's already been complete. Because a lot of people are coming in fresh with just hearing from all the news with what's going on with XRP, Ripple, and all that stuff, changing the financial institution. So I just want to make sure that you are educated and you understand what's happening now based on what's already happened in the past. So today we'll take a second and talk about 3 points. If you're new to my channel, I always talk about 3 points that I want to get out to you, so that way you're aware of what's happening in this video. So for the first point, let's talk about XRP's milestones, a little bit about the tech upgrades, and then we'll talk about point number 2 is XRP in decentralized finance, which is DeFi, and the cross-chain financial pieces. So we'll talk about what that is here in a second. And then the third point we'll talk about is XRP and the regulation, about what's happening to that, and then the real world use cases within XRP. I know I've talked a lot about that in general and broke down at the very high level about some of the real world use cases, but let's go back and then discuss about it now and how it can actually be useful if we used it today. So let's get straight into it. So a lot of XRP's accomplished a shit ton. There's so much that it's already completed. And then as of recently, I think it was like, last week, not even last week. I know it was June sometime, towards the end of June. So probably last week. The Ethereum sidechain was released. And so what that means is, I don't know if you've ever been able to use and transfer Ethereum over to any other wallets or just use it. If you're very new to crypto, just let me know in the comments below and I can break down how you can actually move money. You just gotta be very careful when you're moving money because it works on the blockchain. So if you don't do it correctly, you can actually lose your money. So my suggestion is to do small tests if you're trying to move it, and then I can make a video about how that works. Or you can just watch it on YouTube and Google and see how other people do it. But do small increments. If you have a lot of money, don't move all of it right away. Just do small tests to move your money over. It's like a wire transfer, but then it's instantly. So with that actually costs more money, and then they call it the gas. And that's always been a huge problem for Ethereum. And Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency in our market. So that's the problem. Well, now XRP has built the technology and then the virtual machine really to be able to use it as a side chain. So now you can use XRP as the infrastructure rather than the gas for any type of Ethereum technology. So that's the sick part. That's pretty cool. So that's live, and XRP can now be used like Ethereum in DeFi. So instead of Ethereum gas, XRP is the gas. It's beneficial for us as investors because that's how it works, right? So that's the cool part. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is just to make sure that you understand the value from this is XRP is no longer just a token. It's acting as, and it really is acting as the infrastructure of the back end of all the financial institutions. So the way that technology works, Swift is very dated and it's old, and so now XRP is going to replace that. Whether it's going to be a full replacement or just some add-on, to me, as long as we're upgrading our financial institution, which is hella old, I'm cool with it, right? And it's using a technology that I'm invested in, and that's cool enough for me. So that's the game changer, and I feel like XRP in general changing the world, and people just don't see it yet. And it's okay. That means that we get to earn from it. So let's talk about point number 2, XRP in decentralized finance, and then the cross-chain finance. So I talked a little bit about the cross-chain earlier in point 1, but kind of looping back to the DeFi ecosystem. So what that is now financial institutions, you can do yields, and then you can put your money in a long-term saving account, and then you just earn interest on it. Well, you can do decentralized finance, the same exact thing. You can do lending, you can do yield farming, and then you can do token bridges that are going to be coming online. Before, there was a lot of mining of coins, and now it's more about the peer-to-peer type of lending. And then you've got all sorts of different things that you can actually make money in decentralized finance. So that's the cool thing. It works in its own ecosystem. And then you've got all sorts of other real-world outcomes that can be beneficial, like the liquidity hub expansion that's happening. Like businesses can actually use this for real-world finance within XRP. And then at the end of the day for this one too, XRP is just, it's evolving right in front of us. It's not just a side project now, it's not anything hype. This thing is like, it's a hidden giant. And so that's just, I don't know what else to say about it. If you were able to invest into Google back then, would you? Keep on going back to that, but that's the facts. Let's talk about point number 3, XRP regulation, and then what's the status of that, what's going on. So the SEC case, it's resolved. XRP is not a security, in secondary sales at least. And the ISO 22 compliance, it fits global banking standards. So the regulation for XRP, it's already compliant. CBDC pilots are in progress. So Ripple's helping countries tokenize currency. It's a mouthful, that's a lot to understand, right? But being able to create your own currency and then have it backed by technology, that's a huge thing. So just recognize that institutions, they're moving in quietly. They're setting the stage for the future wave adoption. So just ride with it. Just take it easy, ride with it. Don't get too hyped in. Don't get FOMO. Start learning more about it. And then as things progress, just keep your eyes open. These opportunities are rare. I think those were the 3 main points. So just a little recap. What we talked about was the milestones already accomplished with XRP, and then the XRP in DeFi, and then the cross-chain finance, and a lot of the accomplishments within the regulation that's already been accomplished. So how do I say this? It's already a part of the banking system. So Bank of America, American Express, JP Morgan's are already starting to use it. I think there's a lot of escrow innovation going on. And then Ripple continues to manage the supply by locking and unlocking XRP in escrow. So this is all its strategy. So just think about that and reflect on what's happening and the different avenues that is going on. So you've got SEC lawsuit resolution, you've got the US government acknowledging XRP and Ripple. Retail clarity, this is already on the move. ETF applications, geez, I didn't even talk about that, but the spot ETFs are coming in. It's 95% chance. Like that, to me, that's already, it's just, is it gonna be tomorrow? Is it gonna be next week? We don't have the dates to that, but that to me, it's already a done deal. So now it's waiting to break out, is what I'm looking at. Be prepared, make sure that you have a plan in place for the upside and the downside. So I'm just saying, make sure you have a plan for your exit or if you're gonna load up some more. Again, thank you guys. If you like this type of video, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment below. Later.